In this video, you're going to learn how to create a blog page. The blog pages are used to host the details of past events. On the website, the past events are stored on the events page underneath the forthcoming program, and they're shown in chronological order with the details of what is also included in the page. So as you can see, some of them have videos, some of them have transcripts, some of them have audios, some of them just have photographs. What we're going to do is create a blog page and link it back to this page. For this though, you are going to need several items before we begin. You will need the video taken at the event. You'll need the introduction of the speaker given by the chairperson. You'll also need a photograph. So with these items, we can begin. Now, the simplest way to do this is to duplicate an old blog, because that provides the template. What we're going to do now is log in to the names company who hosts the website. So I've already sent you the link and the password and the email address so that you can log in. Here you will be presented with a page that simply says Website Builder Pro, where you can begin the edit process. So you click on the edit button, and after a few moments the builder will appear on the screen. On the left hand side there are several markers, pages, contents. We're going to scroll down to where it says blog, and up will pop up the blog section. So to create a blog, the easiest way is to duplicate an old blog. So we'd find the last blog, go along to the right hand side and click on the three dots, and you'll see the words duplicate appear. Now, the last talk by Dr. Christian Kerr doesn't include the actual text, so I'm not going to use this one as an example. I'm going to scroll down to find one that does have a text. I don't need to scroll, I can actually search. And I know Sarah Sheridan's talk, if I can spell her name properly, and I'm going to duplicate that particular one. What I need now is the title of the talk. So you simply add in the title and who the post author was. Notice, however, that the account number appears in the post author. You have to overtype that with whoever gave the talk. Underneath, you need to replace the image. You can upload the image directly into the root folder by clicking on Upload Images, and find the image you have and upload it accordingly. Just use this image as an example. Try to keep the images below 2 megabytes in size. Instantly, the image is clicked and a preview is shown on the right hand side. If this wasn't the correct image, you could select different images that are already uploaded, or you can search for an image if you had previously uploaded it and wish to find it. There's the one of Sarah. So now I've selected my image, I will click on Done. So I have the title of the talk, the author, and an image. And I'll click on Start. Now, if you've made an error with the title of the talk, you can click on it and change it. Notice, however, when you save it, it doesn't automatically update. Having said that, it did, but sometimes it doesn't, and you will need to do it twice. Although you don't have to worry about it, it will appear. Underneath this, you will now need to update the date. So add in the correct date the event was given. Below that, you have the video. If I click on the video, it will begin playing. What I want to do, though, is edit it. Strangely, the way to do that is you go to the left and click on the text box, go back to the right and click on the video box. And now up pops the video content editor. If you had a video that was less than 200 megabytes, you could upload it directly into the host platform, namely Names. But none of the lectures are that short. They're typically over 10 gigabytes and therefore have to be stored in YouTube. So you will need to upload the video to the club YouTube account. If you don't have access to this, you can ask one of the other members of council to give you access, and you'll be able to tab between the different accounts using switch accounts from your own account to the club account once you have been given access. Just going back to all the videos so we can see them in a row. So you've uploaded the video. Now we need to find the video. Let's just go to, I'll just find a random video to use here. I'll just go for Helen Graham's, but obviously you would use the video that you've just uploaded. You're also going to need is an MP3 audio file of the actual lecture, but you need to create this. The reason behind this is because all the web pages are stored, or backed up rather, on the Internet Archive. Sadly though, they do not record the video in all cases, and if we ever, God forbid, lost the website, we would lose a record of the event. So we don't want that to happen. So if we can just save an MP3 copy of the video, at least we'll have something rather than nothing. To do this, you copy the entire uniform resource locator at the top of the page, and now you'll just simply go to Google and search for a YouTube MP3 downloader. This will convert the video into an MP3 file, or rather just strip the audio from the file. It takes a while to do. It just has to check you're not a bot. And you can see that is Helen Graham's talk, and it will convert to an MP3. It's now starting to prepare my file. And once that's done, I can download it. So now I have the video, and shortly I will have the MP3 file. So I'm going back to the editor. And, I need to install the YouTube video. I don't need the entire link. All I need is the last code. So I can ignore YouTube, watch, V, etc. and just take the code of the video. So in this case, some gobbledygook, as you can see there. So to copy, you just press Ctrl and C, and you've copied that text. Go back to the video editor, and in the video content editor box, you'll see where it says YouTube and embedded, and just change the code at the end there after the backslash, and use Ctrl and V keys to paste in that text. And instantly you can see on the right the video has been replaced. Also, click on the Hide Related Videos button. This means that when the video stops playing, other videos aren't shown as recommended because sometimes they're not entirely suitable, so it's best that it's ticked so no other videos are displayed. And we can close that box. So like I said, underneath the video we need the MP3 file. So I'm going to click on that bar and it will bring up the audio editor. Now we can directly store the MP3 file within the name's website because it's not too big. And as you can see, the existing file is Sarah Sheridan's. We just want to replace that. Now these recordings won't be stored in the root directory. They'll actually be placed in an individual folder. And you're going to select the recordings folder. And then you're going to upload your audio. But I'm just going to go back to the YouTube because it's now prepared my file and it's now downloading. It's just checking I'm not a bot, and it will shortly download the MP3 file, which I will then be able to upload into Names. I click on that button, a divertisement seems to appear, but the download has begun. So I can close the other pages because they're no longer needed. And I can now go back to my site editor and I can click on the Upload Audio file. And now we're presented with a box that asks us to find the file. So we click on this blue button in the center and we go to our Downloads folder and we can now select the file. So it was Helen Graham's file. Now I have actually already uploaded this, so I'm not going to do it again. So I'm just going to click cancel, but you will upload it and you will see it appear in the top left hand side. It will be in this position. All new material is stored at the top. But because I've already uploaded it, what I will do is just search. I'm searching for Helen's talk. There it is. And I can now click Done on the bottom right hand button. So we now have Helen's video. We now have her audio. So I can close the audio design button. In fact, I've just realised I've typed Fred Dredd. I've made a mistake. It should be Helen Graham. So I can correct that. And the title of the talk is not called the title of the talk, it's actually called The Real Mackay. In fact, the full title was The Real Mackay, Walter Scott's favourite comedian. So I can change that completely. I'm just putting a few dots. I already have a blog with that title, so I'm just going to put V2 just for my own reference and save that. Notice how it didn't immediately update. I'll just save it twice and now you notice that it changes. Now this is the tedious part. Actually, I'm just going to delete that transcript there and that line there. They're not normally stored there. What I do now need to do is change the introduction. So I can delete the old text. I now need to place the new text in this box. I'm just going to widen the box. Though typically this box is already wide, I'm not sure why it's decided it wanted just to hover in the middle. So you will obtain the introduction from the chairperson. I'd already also copied the introduction into the text box, the description box in YouTube. So it is there. But note, in YouTube it does remove all the formatting, so if you are referring to any published works, you will need to put them back in, or need to add italics to them by pressing Ctrl and I on the text. And that's the introduction added. So now we have the video, the audio, the introduction. Next, the summary of the talk. So simply delete the previous summary by highlighting it. Now this is where artificial intelligence comes to the rescue. I will just go to the Walter Scott Club webpage a second, and I will find Helen's talk. It is available to download, so I'll just click on the button and obtain a copy. It's taking some time. It's going much slower than anticipated, but I won't worry, I will bear with it. I'm just going to download a copy of that. And then I can remove that file. Now the reason I've just downloaded it, and you can see it in my downloads box there, is because I'm going to ask ChatGPT to give me a summary. And to do this, I'm going to say, give some information on the date the talk took place, on October the whatever. We had a talk by Helen Graham on, and you can give the title, on blah, blah, whatever. In fact, I'll just actually use the exact title on the real Mackay. This is the text. Now the instruction here is, can you please summarise it? Also, let me know of any interesting points worth mentioning. So I'm going to activate ChatGPT. I'm going to add that instruction. I'm going to click on the plus box to upload a file. I'm going to go to my downloads folder and find the file. It's going to upload that. And I'm going to click the up button, and it will read the document and produce a summary. Notice how certain text is highlighted, is italicized. For example, I'm just highlighting them. So we're getting an artificially intelligent written summary. And that's quite long, but I'll use it on this instance. Now to click the copy button at the bottom left and go back to the editor and paste in the text. I'm just going to scroll back up. Now notice how I've got the text. Some of it is bold, but the titles of works, published works, are no longer italicized. So some editing is required. So I'm just going to delete some of the introductory text, and I now need to go back and forth between ChatGPT and just check which text was italicized. So there's Rob Roy, for example. I'll just go back and find Rob Roy. So I'm not sure why. I think this is a problem with the host, because I've had this many times. When you copy text into names, it removes some of the formatting. What I'd also like you to do is add some spaces, because you'll see the spaces have been removed too. So you're simply looking for italicized words and adding some spaces. Let's assume we've done this because this is taking a long time. Oh, the interesting points worth highlighting does need to be made into a header text. So we'll click on the paragraph button and choose heading 4, and that will make it slightly bigger. Or if you wanted to, you could make it even bigger with a different header. Like number 2, but I think it's too big. Number 3 is okay. So number 3 or number 4, whichever you think is suitable. So I know it's a bit tedious, but it helps with search traffic coming to the website, because when somebody's searching for a reference, like Meg Don's, for example, St. Rona's Well, all this is great text that if somebody's searching for it online, it will lead their search to our web page. Okay, let's just imagine that we've edited all that text, and we scroll down to the very bottom and it says download the transcript. So we highlight the word transcript, and you can see this link button. You click on the link button and it says file for download. We need to change the file because presently we've got Sarah Sheridan's file link there. What we need to do is upload the portable data file of the talk that's just been given. Now, portable data files are stored in their own folder, so click on PDFs and upload the file. Click on Files to upload, go to your downloads. Strangely, obviously, I've just downloaded it. There it is. So let's pretend I've already uploaded that. Well, actually, I have. So I will search for it. Helen. Oh, that's weird. It should be there. There it is. Actually, it's under the name of the real Mackay. So I'm selecting the text. What I notice though, it says set file to no index. Please ensure that has a tick in the box, and then click done. And this is almost all you need to do. So now we have a page created with a title, a video, the audio, an introduction, a summary, and a link to the entire transcript. So I'm going to now click done. One final thing needs to be done before the work is published, and we need to just hover over the bar here until we get to this settings wheel. What I've just noticed there is the title of the talk says title of the talk. It didn't update from the title I had actually given. So what we need to do is, I suppose, when you are adding the title from the get-go, you need to ensure you've got the correct title. But if you do need to change it, don't worry. You can just change it there. In front of the title, we need to add the word blog and put a hashtag. Sorry, not a hashtag, a backslash. If you don't do that, then all the events are not stored on the same blog page. This is really important. So you need to make sure that you add the word blog and backslash before publishing. And that's it. It has been published. So we can click Done. And if we actually went to the events page, well, it doesn't appear. If it was going to appear, if it was a new talk, it would appear above Christian Kerr's talk. So we need to add it to the main website now. So we'll go back to the site editor and we'll click on the home button at the top here and we'll scroll down past all the presidents, there's lots and lots and lots of them, until we get to a page called Events. And we're going to edit this page and add a link to the talk. So just below the year, we'll create some spaces and add in the name of the person and the title of the talk. Obviously I'm just abbreviating it, but you could do this in full. And then I'm also going to add in some details, such as it had a video and it had a transcript. I'm going to make those words bold as well. And I'm going to make Helen Graham's name bold, but I'm also going to give it a shadow so that people know it's something that they can click on. To do this, I highlight the text, I go up to these three dots, I click on them, and the text shadow option appears. I click on that, I change the blur to 5, and I click on the position as bottom right. So this box here, bottom right. And that's done, and now I can click away from that and it will disappear. And the final thing to do is link it to the blog. So I highlight the entire text, I click on the link button, and now I'm searching for the blog post. And here is blog post. Now, if you just created a blog, it will appear at the top. And sure enough, there it is. And once you've clicked on it, it will appear in this box to confirm that that is where the text is being linked to. And I can now X that. So there we have. I can now confirm, and finally I can republish the entire website. I wait for this to occur. It says congratulations, the page is published. So if I now return to the Scott Club website, and I'll just refresh the page, you can now see that that talk has been added, and we will check that the link works. It works. So there we are. We've added a new blog page, and you can see at the top. Oh, a second, I'll just go back to. If you look at other examples, you'll see each event, previous lecture rather. If this works, my internet seems to be slow. They're all stored in the folder blog. So if you accidentally if you didn't include that word, then it wouldn't appear in the blog. Now I'll show you what I mean by that. If I just remove that extraneous text, so I've got Walter Scott Club blog, all these articles appear on the blog page as well now. So that's the importance of making sure you add the word blog before the title. So I'll go through that once again very quickly. So to begin with, we go to the blog page. We find a previous talk. So I'm this time going to go to Christian Kerr's talk. I go along and click on the three dots and click on duplicate. I choose a title. I write in the author's name. I change the photograph to one that I've just uploaded, presumably of the speaker and I click start. I then change the date to whatever date the event took place. And can you believe it? There's an error there on that video. That's just YouTube acting daft. I'm not going to worry about that just now, but I will prove it works. I will just go to the YouTube page, grab hold of the text, the name of the text. So in this case, it's XSCH blah blah blah, and copy that into the video content manager just after the word embed, and there the video appears. And then click on hide related videos and X this box. Underneath it is the MP3. I will replace the audio. I've already uploaded it, so I can go into the recordings folder, and if I remember, it was actually the real, not Helen. Normally I have, it's got Helen's name there. There we go. So there's the MP3. And I did show you how to create an MP3 by ripping it using a piece of software online as well. So you get the gist. So you just add in the video, add in the audio, changing the introduction, changing the summary, and add in the download. In this particular case, though, I've not received the text from Christian Kerr, so it doesn't show her text underneath. It says full text coming soon. It just has a link to the PowerPoint. I'm just going to delete that and say, and add in the word, click transcript. And then I'm going to highlight it bold, pressing the Control and B button, or just using the B button there, and then link it to a file for download at the bottom here, file for download, and they are stored in the portable data files folder. So you can search one that's previously been uploaded or upload your own. And like I said, I'd already uploaded this, and there it was. So I'll just pretend I've done it. And the important thing is to do is set file to no index, and then click done. So that is the page done. And the important point to do before you publish is to click on this settings wheel and add the word blog with a backslash, which is underneath the question mark button, or rather the question mark button as well. And then you can publish. That has been published. And then you click done. And we can X that button to get rid of it. And then we go to the events page, which are linked underneath all the presidents. And we simply wish to add on another line, another person. So we add the name of the person along with what's included, for example, the transcript, the video, and I'll make those bold just so people know that it's text and videos that they can download. And also I'll highlight the person's name in bold and use these three buttons here to bring up the option to put a text shadow, change the setting to 5 and use a bottom right shadow, that button there. And then there it is. Oh, actually, and then link the whole of the text, highlight the entire text to the blog you've just created. So we go down to here where it says blog post, and the last blog post will appear. There it is, title talk, and that's now linked. And if I now republish and go, I'll wait for that to upload. and I'll go back to the events page, and there it is, Fred Dread, it's appeared. So there we are, you've created a blog page and you've linked it to the events page. Now, if you've made some mistakes, you can simply just go and delete the things you've made mistakes with. But if you've made some serious mistakes and you wish you could recover the website, it is possible. You go to on the left-hand side, at the bottom, it says SEO. And once you click on that wheel, it brings up site backup option. And every time you publish the website, it also saved the previous version, just in case you ever need to restore the website to an earlier occasion. And it's possible. So if I now clicked on restore the website back to the 14th of November, I can click on that button because it's kept a copy from that date. I've updated this website over 1,200 times, so there would have been 1,200 copies, but I tend to delete the really older versions of the site, so it's just not taking up too much space, though this is obviously not necessary. But that's what you can do in an emergency if you wish to restore the website to an old version. But for me right now, all I'm going to do is just go and delete the examples so that they're not messing up the website. And that's what I'm going to do now. So hopefully that's been useful, and you can now go and create a blog and link it to the events page.